What kind of player are you getting?
Well, again, what we love about him is that he's versatile. Again, gives us more height, length, and we love the fact that he has continued to improve. And as a staff, been on him and watched him play and through the last couple of years, and we just think what we're doing and how we're playing, he's a great fit for us, because we want our post guys to be able to play both inside and outside, handle the ball, versatile. We obviously need to get one more like that, but we're excited.
Is that what sets him apart at that size, be able to shoot it and kind of play out a little bit?
Well, we want to do that. We want post guys that can. But we don't want guys that we just think you got to lock them into the post. Unless that's obviously what they do really well. We want as much versatility with our post players as we can get, and he brings that.
What are your feelings on you have another scholarship? Use it, hold on to it for a while?
No, we'll use it if we find the right person. We're involved with some people that obviously we're hoping that we can get it done, but if not, we're planning on using it this year.
Dietrich was saying that y'all spent some extra time working on offense immediately after that exhibition. Just specifically, what did you kind of want to show them?
Well, it wasn't just offense. We spent time defensively and also talking about rebounding and just understanding. I thought we played hard. I don't think there's any question, but I thought it was a great learning experience in terms of guys being ready to play, but they weren't prepared mentally to do what we wanted them to do. And I thought the excitement of the first time, and we told them that you can't let that excitement detour you from doing what your job is, the details. And we knew there would be some slippage that way, but again, this time of year, with a young group of guys, I think you'd probably take the effort over the execution, even though for as much time as we spent on certain things, as a group, we weren't real pleased with that execution, but the effort was there, and but we've got to continue to be able to, when the game's on, execute what we practice every day.
What kind of challenges does Chattanooga present with that veteran line?
Well, I think again, when you talk about a team that won 29 games and won their regular season championship, their conference championship, and get to the NCAA tournament, have 4 or 5 guys coming back, and they're a team like that. You would expect them to be in mid-season form. The fact that they've been together, they know already what they're doing, and they've won big games. They went on the road at Georgia to start the year last year, and they've gone on the road. And so I think they're an experienced group of guys that know how to play, well coached, and so it's a tough opening.
Is that kind of your biggest concern, their experience versus so many new faces for you?
Well, I think obviously you look at our team. Early in the year, experience. We don't have any experience other than you guys know Robert. Lou's been around, but he's new to the system. Dietrich, and that's our experience really. And even though we do have guys that Shambari and Admiral Kyle played a year ago, but as a group overall, this first month of the season is going to be a new experience for all of us. Really, after these 2 games here at home and going to Maui. But you know what? We're going to learn from it, and I expect us to. I fully expect us to be ready to go out and compete every time, and I have confidence in this group, and we're getting started on what's going to be a season that I fully expect us to improve every time we go out.
How deep you'll go, in terms of rotation, or is it still some spots there?
Yeah, we obviously won't play as deep as we did in the exhibition game, but I would be surprised if we put a bat up against my hand and said pick a number. I would think 10 would probably play, and depending on how those 10 do, more. But again, it'll still be early in the season. Us figuring out who we can count on.
A lot of your players talk about how tough you are in the film room. Have you been the same coach in the film room back to your early days, or have you changed in terms of how tough you are on those guys in there?
No, I've always been. I think that it's like a classroom, and I think that film exposes a lot of that film really convicts. When you think about it, like we'll tell them in practice what we're doing, and you'll have players that will look at you at times and think, well, I did do that, and like I've always told them, if I've told you you didn't do it, you didn't do it, but the film really reveals that. And so I think it's, and I do think today too with the kids, as much as I think they're visual learners, as much as they look at phones, iPads, TV and all that, I think they learn from it. And the fact is, we probably do as much teaching in there because when we get on the court, we want to go pretty much with a high tempo type practice. So we do a lot of teaching in the film room, and I've always done that.
Getting back to Zach, how did you all get onto a guy like him?
Rob Lanier, Rob really did a great job. You know, he had some friends up that way, and again, as a staff, I've got a group of guys that are experienced. They've been in a long time. They have contacts, and so Rob was able to early to get there, and he stayed with it. And so it wasn't just recently. Rob was really in a 2-year process.
Ricky, you've spent obviously a bunch of years at Texas, a place where I'm sure you played some of the smaller colleges in that state. And do you think the young guys on this team understand how much incentive a team like a Chattanooga has to come here and beat a program like Tennessee?
Oh yeah, there's no question. I mean, we talk about that. I mean, I've always said, there's going to be a winner and a loser in every game. And I've said before that they want to win as badly as we want to win. They work as hard as they can work to win basketball games. We do the same thing, and I don't think any team in any country at any sport should have a sense of entitlement thinking that we can just show up. I mean, because there's people that when you go out on the floor that truly have the same dreams, they have the same desires, they want to win, and so if they don't, they're not very smart. And the fact is, and we tell them that if you don't think these games are big, wait till March. They're all big come March. And so you better realize that every time you go out, and even beyond that, when you work as hard as we work, and as for as long as we work, and you think about you get at the most probably 40 times a year to play, I think you got to say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we work for. Why would you even waste one moment? Why would you waste one possession without really giving it your best shot and being on edge and knowing that on any given night, and we watch it every year, the parity in college basketball is real, and so it would disappoint me if our guys take anybody lightly at all.
One more.
When you were at Texas, did y'all play some of those smaller colleges that were in the state? And did you ever notice, some of those guys doing things they hadn't done before, or guys that were really trying to win that game for that reason?
Well, no, I do think that it's natural that way. I was at a school, George Mason, and when we had a chance to play the teams that were bigger than us, we used it as a chance to really make a statement for our program. I mean, there's no doubt that we talked about it, and times have changed. Hey, this is, you got oftentimes guys that wanted to play at this level, but now with the transferring, there's so many guys that played at a high level that have transferred down, and so some of that's changed. But the fact is, again, I can tell you at George Mason, Providence, Clemson, when you were really considered the underdog most nights, even in conference play, you use that as a way to say, hey, this is a chance for us to really make a statement for our program.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.